Hello and welcome back to Retfurb. So on today's video we've got this NAD 3020 that's got a loud thud on startup. Now some of the NADs do have a slight startup sort of noise, more of a hum. This one, as you'll see in a minute when I demo it, what the noise is like. So it's more of a longer thud sort of noise. So let's just connect it all up, get straight into it and just demo what the issue is with it. So you can see straight away the issue that it's got. So we're going to get straight inside and have a quick look. So originally I thought it might have been the switch which was dirty, causing a noise when you're switching it on and off. So to diagnose that, I turned it on and off with the switch already on the system using the plug, the mains plug, and it still did exactly the same, doing it both ways. So that eliminates the switch being the cause of the issue. If it was a switch, it would only do it when you operate the main switch on the front panel, but it didn't. So what I'm going to do is there's 3 muting capacitors that I'm going to change. These are usually faulty when you get this sort of issue. So rather than go around and change all the capacitors, I'm going to do those 3 first, and hopefully that'll rectify the issue. I'm pretty sure it probably will. I've had a similar issue before on a NAD 3020 and I changed these 3 and it seemed to rectify the problem. So the capacitors that are in there, they're C531, C532 and C533. I'm going to be replacing them with a 47 UF 63 volt, which was recommended by an ex-NAD employee. They said that although some of the service manuals show slightly different, they did quite a few updates and revisions throughout the sort of life of these amplifiers. So I'm going to replace those 3. That's exactly what I did on another amplifier, and like I say, it rectified it properly. So you can see here I'm just getting them out using the soldering iron, removing the old ones and just prepping them up ready for the new ones to be fitted. Now obviously if you're doing anything like this, you need to know what you're doing first. You don't want to just go in and just change random capacitors and put random sizes and voltages and everything like that in there, because it won't work and you potentially cause an issue and damage to yourself and the actual amplifier. So you don't want to be doing this unless you know what you're doing and you've checked service manuals to make sure you're putting the correct items in. Obviously each amplifier can be different. It's not just across the board that this is what you do, so you need to check that first. So you can see there it's Nichicon capacitors I'm using, so good quality capacitors, and I've just fitted them into the place for the old ones. And now just soldering them in place. And once they're soldered in place, just snipping off the legs. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick test and just make sure that there's no noise before I go further. So you can see there, just operating the switch without any sound or anything connected into it is absolutely fine. There's no noise now. And now just to put it back together, so all the screws in the bottom plate, get them fixed back in place. And then just flipping the amplifier over and just getting the lid fitted back on, which is just 3 screws each side. Obviously, whilst you're doing all these repairs, you don't want the system plugged in. It's got to be safe. You need to make sure the capacitors are discharged before going any further, which is I've done. I don't actually show it on here, but I've done all that prior to doing the repairs. And then once it's all back together, we can do a test plugged in with input device. So you can see there straight away that the issue's rectified now. So those 3 capacitors sorted out the issue. Obviously there's no startup bang now. Like I say, some NADs you do have a slight hum on startup, which is completely normal, but that just wasn't normal. You know, it's too long, so it's obviously those capacitors have gone bad. The rest of the system hasn't had the capacitors changed on this NAD, so that might be something that gets done in the future, but at the moment it seems to be all working okay. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, it's really appreciated. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.